Hi everybody, it's me Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here to guide you through today's Tabata HIIT circuit. I recommend having a variety of different weights for today's workout. Some of the moves, as you'll read in the description, sound really easy. We're going to start off with holding a weight up overhead to really challenge our core and come into a standing crunch. So I want you to find the weight that works for you. I'm going to hold on to just one weight to make sure I'm standing up really nice and straight and not collapsing it all through the upper body. And cool, you got a couple minutes to gather everything you need to bribe your pets. Fred, don't you be nasty. Don't be nasty. If you have an opportunity to put some water on, to put some music on, I would encourage you to put some music on so that you can stay inspired and moving. So you lost that. They're thinking peanut because you're being crazy and nasty. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna start in just about 2 minutes with a quick warm up, and we're gonna play with the times of the moves in today's set. So instead of having all of our rounds be 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest, we're gonna have some rounds that are 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, some rounds that are 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, because I'm a nice lady. 40, 20. I'm not too nice though, let's be real. So we're really gonna mix it up. What did I say we were doing for this one? Oh, I didn't. I get to make it up. Okay, great. So I do apologize. I can tell that the lighting's getting weird. I know it's a little harder to see my smiling face, but I promise I'm smiling at you guys, and that I just still can't figure out how to put curtains into my plaster walled apartment. Let me grab some water. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so before we get started, I just want you to thank yourself for showing up today, no matter how much time that you have to be here together and work out. The fact that you are either just watching or participating with whatever time you have allowed is great. 5 minutes is better than no minutes, and no matter how you're feeling today, standing up and getting some movement is going to help you feel better. That being said, I'm not really feeling super great. I'm not feeling super great. We're gonna do our best. So stand up, create some space for yourself, have those weights nearby because they're gonna come up soon. But let's start off with just some lateral side to side step taps. As you've got the motion going, maybe you wanna make it a little bit more intense, add in a little bit more of a hop, or just covering a little bit more space as you give yourself some shoulder rolls, really relaxing that upper body. Change direction of those shoulder rolls, because I'm gonna challenge that upper body in today's workout. We have these overhead side crunches that we're gonna start out with. We got some planks and stuff going and a lot of weighted moves. Go ahead, just swing those arms side to side. I want you to work to pull those shoulder blades towards each other behind you. Make sure that you're not rounding and collapsing through your chest here. So as you stood up, you rolled those shoulders down and back, you draw your belly in, your core is tight. We're gonna really encourage that core tightness as we begin, because having your arms up overhead balancing a little bit on one leg is going to really challenge you to pull it in. Let's go ahead and just alternately reach side to side. You can keep your feet planted, or you can add in a little bit of a toe tap. I'm going to keep most of today's moves of a lower intensity, but if you want to add in some hops or kicks wherever you see appropriate and you don't live on the second floor, you are welcome to. Let's go ahead and just press through the center. Find that rotation from your core, so not just twisting those shoulders a little bit side to side. Ooh, feeling it through your low back as you twist as well. You can keep those feet planted and just press an imaginary wall, or keep this tap going. Ready to reach down to the floor, pull your belly in. Every time you hinge from the hips, I want you to really make sure that core is pulled in nice and tight to protect that lower back. And you can add in a lunge here. Let's do 5 on each side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Stand it up. Let's just march in place. Let me tell you what's happening for our first move of the day. This is a move. We're going to use one weight. So you can grab a slightly heavier weight. And the challenge is really going to be to those shoulders, keeping your weight up overhead, not collapsing through that chest, and not overarching through that back either. So nice and tall. You're going to get a little flexion of that spine as you lift one leg up and just crunch towards the side. So not really collapsing into that side. Really, I'm working to draw this knee up in line with my body as much as possible to challenge myself a little bit more than if my knee was coming in front of me. Do what works best for you though. If you need to draw that knee forward instead of getting that side leg lift into your hip, make it happen. We're gonna do this move for 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, and we'll just switch sides each time through. That's my 40-second timer. We start in 3, 2, 1. Wait, they're both 40-second timers. Sorry everyone. Let me just fix this really fast. Keep marching. Let's keep moving. We're keeping the break time to a minimum today because we've only got 30 minutes. If you need to take an extra break, take an extra break and come back into the work as soon as you can. You ready for these arms up overhead side crunches? We start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. All right. If you're having trouble keeping these arms up overhead, if you notice some real pain in those shoulders, then maybe you bring your hands to your chest. You can even get rid of the weight as you need to. Even just these dumbbell arms. I meant goalposts. Take a break. It can feel a little bit easier than the challenge it takes to balance with your arms up overhead. So just want to make sure that those who need it have that option. Let's hit the other side. So as this foot comes down, I want you to make sure that you're bringing this foot down carefully and you're using that exhale to drive that knee up. You feel a big stretch in the opposite side body, but we're not slamming our foot down to the floor. Take a break. Just getting those heart rates up a little too with your arms up overhead. I want to make you sweat today. Begin. So after we do this, we're going to get down on the floor. We got some planks coming up next. I'm going to challenge you to do those planks for 40 seconds, but that means you get a longer break, 20 seconds of rest. Keep it up here. Awesome. Rest, shake it out. Are you drawing that lower belly in to help you really stay balanced? Arms up, here we go. So you can see I'm doing my best to keep those biceps close to my ears. Ooh, I'm starting to feel it as well, a little in the hips. I feel my quad being challenged too. We are halfway through, y'all. Halfway through. 3, 2, 1. I hope that you're still finding some sort of movement during our 10 seconds of active recovery. Maybe you can drive that knee up a little bit higher as we're warmed up a little bit more. you have some, take a break. Do you have some space from your shoulders away from your ears? So you can see as I bring my arms up over my head, I don't raise my shoulders up. I keep that space. My shoulders are down and back, belly in, other side. So maybe you're not able to lift your knee quite as high. That's okay. Remember, if you need to, goalpost arms are also an option. Or maybe you're just reaching down. Awesome. Take a break. Just want to make sure you know that however you're making this move work for you, as long as you're moving, it is working. Last time, here we go. Last time on each side, I think. Right? I set it for 8, I hope. We're about to find out. Ooh. Yay. One more time through. And then we're gonna get down on the floor. Awesome. Finish it out nice and strong, controlled with bringing that foot down to the floor. Maybe it even doesn't actually touch the floor. Maybe it's just a little toe tap or approximating the floor. Little half moon action with that upper body. Keep those shoulders down and back, belly in. You made it. All right, put your weights out of the way. We don't need them for this next move. We're coming down to the floor, and I'm switching to our 40-second timer. So the first move that we have down here on the floor is a straight arm plank. Let's make it a little bit more dynamic though, since we're still warming up the body. So go ahead, bring your hands, palms under your chest and shoulders, send those hips up. Let's pedal through our heels. Take a moment right here in down dog. Warm up the lower half of your body. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Work to bring your belly closer towards your thighs, biceps, once again coming close towards your ears. We're gonna switch between this down dog. Your feet can be wider for a more stable base to coming into a plank. And if you're having trouble staying up in down dog, you get to be right here in tabletop. Send your hips back into child's pose and then come back into tabletop, or maybe on your knees with your feet a little wider out so you're in a modified plank. You ready? We start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So hips up towards the ceiling, belly towards thighs, then shift the weight forward, hands, palms under shoulders. Move at the pace that works for you. Remember, having your feet a little bit wider, having your hands a little bit wider can create that nice stable base. Right now you're thinking about how your hips are high, and then you're bringing your hips in line with or just gently below your shoulders. Draw a line with your eyes so they look gently behind you, and then they look right in front of your fingertips. So you're not tucking your chin towards your chest or putting any strain in your neck. Awesome. Take your 20 seconds break. Next up, we're going to go for a rotating plank. Your choice if you'd like to do this on forearms or straight arms. We're just going to alternate side to side. If you need to be on your knees, you can open them a little wider and still rotate side to side. Ready? Begin. So as this hand comes to the floor, try not to slam your hand down to the floor. Try to move with as much control and stability from the center of the body as possible. Think about what's happening with your hips right now. So we're no longer in down dog, so hips should not be up towards the ceiling. Hands, palms are right underneath of those shoulders. If you're having a lot of trouble, go ahead, bring those knees down towards the floor and just rotate from there. You got 5 seconds left and then a 20-second break. Awesome. Ooh, next up we're going to go for a little less movement. We're going to find a side reach. So either being in tabletop or in a full plank, you're going to reach your hands out towards the side with your palm facing down towards the floor. Make sure you have space and begin. So remember, those wider feet are a more stable base, which is going to make it a little bit easier for you to reach out laterally without finding a lot of rotation in your hips this time. We got one more plank after this. And the last plank, we're going to keep our hands on the floor. We're going to move our legs. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Take your break. All right, so for our last plank, we're going to go for a step or jump out and then individual leg lifts. Just a nice combo to really work all parts of the glutes. I'm going to come down to my forearms, give my wrists a break. You ready? Here we go. So step or jump out, bring it in, and then squeeze your glute to lift that heel up. Step out or jump. So think about the action coming from the glutes, not just pressing that foot up the floor and sending your heel towards the ceiling. You got 10 seconds left. Last plank of the day. 2, 1. You made it. Take your time. We're going to stand up. We're going to alternate between 2 different moves for our next round. I think we'll stick with this 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So our next move, holding on to some weights. Oh, I'm going to challenge myself with something a little heavier today. Hands up right by your shoulders. You're going to rotate to the side. Just a rotational shoulder press. Between that move, we're going to add in an alternating bent over row. So hinging from the hips, nice flat back, alternating from that row. You can do one at a time, or you can make them pass each other. Find a weight that slightly challenges you and recognize you might need 2 different weights for this move. Are you ready? We start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So, rotating from that core, looking towards the opposite side. We got 40 seconds of work here. If you find that you're overarching through your back too much, I want you to switch to a lighter weight, or just put the weights down, and you can always move a little bit faster without any weights in your hand. You can just turn on the foot of the same arm that's moving. You don't have to pick your feet up to really rotate. Keep that belly drum in and work to keep those shoulders down and back too. Oh my gosh, that was some work, y'all. All right, next we're gonna take that hinge at the hips. We're gonna row it out. So plant those feet on the floor. Just breathe for a moment. Sweating. We start in 3, 2, flat back, eyes down. So drawing those elbows up. We're alternating so you can really find that squeeze. Send your elbow up towards the ceiling and your hands palms come painting right by those ribs. If you're not feeling it, hinging over a little bit more, keeping that flat back, it's going to make it a little bit more challenging. Make sure you're not holding your breath. No extra wrinkles in the neck. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Stand up. Maybe you put the weights down, shake your hands out, shake your body out. Have fun. We're going to come back to those rotational shoulder presses one more time. 4, 3, 2, belly in. So twist and just punching up towards the ceiling. Keep that belly pulled in, keep that overarch out of your back. Still focusing on lots of moves that are gonna help you to strengthen that body so you can perform the best 5K possible. Ooh, 5 seconds left. I'm starting to get tired here. Hopefully you are too. Oh, take a break. If so, that means you did a good job finding a challenging weight for yourself. And if not, that's okay. You're still moving. We're working with whatever we have, weight-wise, physically, mentally. Hinge forward. Let's go. Alternating those rows. So the more upright that you're standing, the easier this move feels. And the more you really hinge, the more you're gonna really feel it in that back too. As you drive that elbow high like you want it to touch the ceiling. You're more than halfway through. Three, two, one, great work. Keep a weight nearby. We're gonna use them as we come down to the floor for our next move. Ooh, still breathing. All right, so we're gonna go for two similar moves together. We've got a bicycle weight pass. So just alternating between bicycling, drawing that knee in. And then we're gonna either keep our feet planted or you can keep them up and focus a little bit more on the rotation from the core. We're gonna work 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for this one. So I want you to really give it your all for these 20 seconds. Let's start off with the bicycle weight pass. Make sure you're not rounding through that chest. Chest is lifted. We start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. If you do find that you're rounding through the chest, I want you to put the weight down. And you can just mimic making a figure 8 with your hands to really work to draw that knee in a little bit closer. Having the weight does make it harder to keep that chest up. Awesome. 10 seconds rest, and then we're gonna come into that Russian twist. Let's start with our Russian twist nice and low. We'll play with the height of it as we continue. Go for it. So remember, either feet on the floor. You can challenge yourself with 1 foot on the floor. You can challenge yourself with 2 feet off the floor. You can challenge yourself by keeping your feet on the floor and leaning back a little bit more. Still keeping that chest up. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. All right, coming back into our bicycle weight pass, which I bet you can also do. Begin laying down if you needed to. Find a little bit more of a lift. Taking a little bit easier on yourself by not having to support that back the whole time like you would if you were more in a V. Awesome. Coming back to that Russian twist. I'm gonna switch to a slightly lighter weight. We're gonna keep our arms straight this time and just go to one side. Begin. Straight arms, just twisting to one side and then back to center. Keep that chest up. 3, 2, 1. Remember which side you twisted to, because we're gonna twist to the opposite side next time. Coming back to the bicycle weight pass. 3, 2, 1. Whichever version you want to do. Ooh. Ooh, keep breathing. Stay focused, y'all. 3, 2, 1. Take your break. Let's go for our Russian twist, straight arm to the other side. Begin. I'm lifting up just one leg to challenge my core a little bit more. But remember, you can have both of those legs down on the floor. We got 1 round of movement left to go after this. Ooh. Ready for our last of each. So one more time with that bicycle weight pass. One more Russian twist. Here we go. Bicycle weight pass. Keep that chin neutral to your chest, so it's not stretching up towards the ceiling. It's not tucked. Awesome. For this last Russian twist, we're going to go arms up overhead and then over to the side. Ready? Begin. So like you're making a big rainbow from one side to the other. Three, two, one. Nice work. All right, if you want a quick sip of water, grab a quick sip of water. You can move your weights out of the way for our last move of the day. We're going to come back to 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. Our first move is going to be a push-up. I encourage you to do a slow push-up, or find a stop or two along the way to the ground and then press yourself back up. So slow down, explosive lift. Our mid move is going to start with a kneeling fly. So staying down here on the floor, just hinging shoulders down and back. You can have that slight bend in your elbow as you squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Push-ups, and then finishing with some tricep extensions. Sorry I made you put your weights away. I literally don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to have some slightly lighter weights out this time. Let's start with those push-ups in 3, 2, 1, begin. So either on your knees or on your toes. I'm going to come down on my knees. I'm going to press up on my toes to just work that challenge in. Oh, make sure that as you're coming down, everything's coming down in one line. So you're not allowing that belly button to sink down to the floor, and then your chest, you're not doing the worm. Everything in one nice straight line. If you're having trouble, step those knees in. Keep that weight heavily in your hands, palms. Feel those shoulder blades squeeze towards each other. Great. Let's come to that fly. So staying down on the floor, kneeling, even if you have no weights in your hand, totally okay. We're going to take that slight forward hinge, shoulders down and back, pull your belly in. Find one spot in front of you to focus your eyes, and let's go. So I'm working to bring these arms up just around, slightly under shoulder height. And you're working at the pace that your weight dictates. So if you have really heavy weights, you might be working even slower. Don't just allow your hands, palms to fall back together. You're controlling on the way up and down. And the more you hinge, just like before, the harder it's going to be. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Ooh, stretch it out. Then we got one more round of push-ups, and then triceps, and then we stretch and we're done. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Continue to check in with yourself with that upper back. Make sure it is engaged before you go down. Each time you're engaging and drawing your belly in. If you need to go a little slower to have that proper form, that is smart. Yay. All right, we got those tricep extensions. It's still National Yoga Month, y'all. If you're feeling stressed at all, I hope you'll consider joining Sarah live this evening, 5:30. All right, so elbows nice and high, extend, bring it back in. That's it. Just keeping that upper body back engaged, keeping those elbows lifted, working to bring the head of your dumbbell, of that pinky towards the ceiling. Maybe you want to add a pulse in here as we come to our last 20 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Awesome. Put those weights down. Go ahead, bring your hands, palms to the floor. Give yourself a couple cat-cows, tucking your chin towards your chest, looking towards your knees or your belly button, pulling that chest all the way through. Give yourself a couple times through in the regular direction. And then go ahead, give me a little shift side to side. Bring in some stretches to that neck by also looking over your opposite shoulder. All right, back into tabletop. Extend your right leg out behind you. Take a deep inhale, lift it up and cross it over that left leg a little bit. Look over your left shoulder. See if you can see your hip or that right heel. Awesome. Head back to center. Use your inhale, lift that leg up, bring it in. Send your opposite leg out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cross. Find that lifted length and then look over your shoulder. It's okay if you can't see your foot. We're just getting a big stretch into that side body. We did a good job working it today. Bring those knees in. Open them wide. Send your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands as far forward as feels good for your body today to get a stretch in those shoulders. Go ahead, oopsie doodles, sorry glasses. Go ahead and walk your hands all the way over to the right side. Stretch your glutes towards that left heel. Walk it back through center, over to the left side. Stretch your glutes towards your right heel. One more big stretch through the sides of the body here again. Hands back into center. Tuck your toes under, send your hips up towards the ceiling, pedal through your heels. Get the stretch on the back of your calves. Walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. Shift the weight to your heels. You can bend your knees as you hinge forward. Enjoy that stretch in your hamstrings. Take a moment, shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And as you're ready, slowly, gently roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Let's take 3 breaths together. Bend your knees, take a deep inhale, send your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. 2 more. Last one together. Really stretch up, look up, feel that stretch in your belly, draw those shoulders down again, lifting through your chest. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side, keep your chest lifted. Just take a moment standing here in your own little superhero pose with those shoulder blades engaged, just being as proud of yourself as possible. I do encourage you to take some more stretches throughout the day. Do your best to stand up from your desk, whether or not you're going to join us for the 5:30 p.m. yoga class. Movement is medicine, so get it in. If you have any questions or concerns about anything I said or we did today, I hope you'll reach out. I hope you had a great time. Can't wait to see you all again for our core and stretch on Wednesday. Have a wonderful week.